What's up, waves, and welcome back to Anime Lane, the podcast where we take you down the yellow brick road of anime and have a look at everything it has to offer. As always, I am your host, Notorious, and joining me once again today is Shaun.
Hiya.
Melina.
Hello.
We're going to dive into the ultimate virtual community in Belle, directed by Mamoru Hosoda, animation production by Studio Chizu, music by Taisei Iwasaki, Ludwig Forssell, Yuta Bando, and Miho Sakai. It premiered at Cannes Film Festival on July 15th, 2021, where it received a 14-minute standing ovation. It was released on home media by G-Kids in the US and Anime Limited in the UK. It's based on the 1756 fairy tale Beauty and the Beast, as well as the 1991 Disney animated feature film. Then we're on the hunt for Golden Dragon and Lupin the Third, Dragon of Doom, with animation production by TMS, directed by Masaharu Okuwaki. It's the 6th Lupin TV special, but the first one we're covering here. It originally aired on July 29th, 1994. It's currently available via Discotek Media, as are many other Lupin titles in the US. This was the final appearance of Yasuo Yamada as Lupin, with Kenichi Kurita taking over with the release of Farewell to Nostradamus, though Yamada still voiced him in the trailers for Nostradamus.
Oh, interesting.
Wow, that sounds like there's a story there. Did he die?
I think, no, he passed away, I think, after the release of Nostradamus, but he wasn't keeping well at the time.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Because he retired with Dragon of Doom, which I think, from what I've read, he recorded mostly sitting down because he wasn't, keeping well.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell because
No.
For once, I watched just to get into Lupin. I don't know if we're going with Lupin first, but
I think we watched Belle first.
Yeah.
so just to go into Lupin real quick, I watched that one subbed for once. When I usually watch it dubbed, so that was an experience.
It was originally titled Burn Santetsuken in Japanese. So Dragon of Doom is like just the English title.
Wow.
Which both make sense to me as options,
Yeah.
but Burn Santetsuken I don't think works as well as an English release title. So yeah, we're gonna start with Belle because that's the one we all watched first. What one did I have on first? Belle.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I thought
That's like the least fitting sound.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought I was maybe on the deep fry, but okay. Yeah, Belle. Melina, I'm curious.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You guys really kind of scare me into it. It's like, just so you know, it's based on Beauty and the Beast. I'm like, okay.
We remember the Wolf Children.
Yeah,
incident.
it was the Wolf Children thing, and Mamoru Hosoda. And it's only because you've mentioned it with Wolf Children, like watching Belle, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of animal things in here.
Yeah, but they're all virtual characters, and they don't try to make them, I don't know how to say this, attractive. Like, you're not looking at it like, oh. You know what I mean?
I don't think they tried to make Wolf Daddy. Oh.
Don't call him that.
No.
Why'd you call him
Wolf
that?
Dad. Attractive in Wolf Children.
I think so.
I don't, because it's
I really don't.
I think the animation is too simplistic in Wolf Children to make anyone.
I think it's mostly the fact that it's a virtual world, and that's like explained
it's
very
not
early
real.
on. It's not real, and they don't have a choice.
Yeah,
That's a good
true.
point. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they can't
wonder-
customize their characters.
No,
it's like
I
it goes into their
wonder
brain.
How do, is it pulling from their subconscious that they kind of like animals or like that animal, like, and not necessarily
know.
like
Yeah,
as a
no,
Like
yeah.
it
I know what
speaks
you
to
mean.
them.
yeah.
It's their spirit guide.
Yeah. Like, there was the lady that was a baby, because she's
Yes.
an attention-seeking whore.
She has baby syndrome, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of animals, but I assumed it was just like, oh, you're slow
I think this
paced and kind of
animal's
dumb.
cool.
You're a sloth.
I don't think we've seen any sloths.
I don't know.
I get there was a cheetah at one point, I think.
Yeah, the cheetah police.
Assigned
Yeah.
animal in VR.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I think it's because it leads you on thinking it is just Beauty and the Beast for a while.
Yeah, because I see that it's inspired by but story-wise, I wouldn't say it's very similar.
No, it's very much inspired rather
Yeah.
than
Mostly visual, I think.
Absolutely.
Than story-wise.
yeah.
Like, that sort of dance scene they have in, like, is it the middle of the movie?
Yeah, when she sings Lend Me Your Voice, I think.
Yeah. When like they're in like a ballroom, and that's straight up like just taken from the Disney version, I think.
Yeah, because I noticed the layout of the castle was very similar with the staircase in the middle. I don't know why the fuck I know this from Beauty and the Beast, but
we're not judging you.
I mean, I picked up on it as well.
Yeah.
It just seems like something so specific where it's like, okay, you walk in and the sides are empty. There's like drawers and stuff and cabinets, and then in the middle there's a staircase. The big staircase leads up, and then you have a separation to both sides.
Yeah.
The sort of T-shaped staircase.
Yeah, the T-shaped staircase, and that's where I really knows like, Beauty and the Beast.
The thing is, you're saying that's weird when Beauty and the Beast, along with all the other kind of Renaissance Disney movies, like are iconic.
Yeah.
So it's not that strange to recognize it.
I just haven't seen like Beauty and the Beast in so long that I was like, how do I remember that?
I mean, I only saw it once, like when I was like about 10, and I remembered it.
We live in the age of like iconography now, so you see it everywhere via GIFs.
Like I do say that, and I do remember seeing it a lot as a kid because it was always into like trailers and like advertisements for Disney.
The classic middle of the dance is always in the trailers.
Yeah.
Spin.
The spin. You know what I mean. It's the spin.
I don't know really where to start, because I guess we should cover the fact that this is the second time Belle's appearing on here. I covered it previously.
We've never done this movie before.
No, you two haven't. I covered it previously with Kelsey, but I think it's always worth having this the title come up again if it's with you guys, because
we can like sort of compare like our views on it compared to like you and Kelsey's views.
I don't remember anything about that episode. I thought about listening back to it and then went, nah, I want to come in.
You might taint your own thoughts.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't want to recover just stuff I've said in that episode. So I haven't listened back to it. It was about a year ago, so I don't remember anything that we talked about. But at the time, I think it was the third or maybe second.
It was an early one.
It was an early episode.
I remember when it came out, I was going to listen to it, but then I was like, wait, we might cover this. I don't know if you told me we were going to cover it again, or if I was going to watch it on my own at some point.
I don't know if we were going to cover it, because this came up fairly recently.
It might have been then. I thought I was going to watch it by myself at some point, and I was like, I don't want to spoil the movie for myself. So
my point being, thank you. I don't actually remember my point.
Don't thank me. That's your own problem if you forgot your own point.
You don't want to taint your the views you had then. Maybe they were different on a rewatch. Could be. I
mean, I still enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, but you notice different things. Like, I liked it more on a rewatch, maybe even.
I genuinely couldn't tell you.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah, that's on you then.
No, my main point was that an early episode. So we kind of at the time we were going through the movie like beat by beat almost, and that's not how we really cover stuff anymore. It's a bit more freeform, and I don't think that's an interesting way to cover stuff.
Opening scene.
So I don't know who wants to start with random or anything they want to get out there about the film.
Something I want to get out of the way is I love the animation style of the virtual world.
Oh, same.
Like that.
Oh, interesting.
Like immediately caught my eye because we start in the virtual world. And I was like, oh, that's different. That's new.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the more, real life, the more traditional style, I'd say.
I noticed that as well. Like the virtual world is more like, it's definitely anime, obviously, but it's more like Disney inspired, I want to say.
Well, Belle's character design is by, is it Jin Kim? Ooh. Hold on, let me pull up the...
Is this going to go where I think it goes? Because if it is...
We might be going where you think we're going. We need to hit 88 miles per hour first.
Oh.
Going this train of thought doesn't need roads.
Let's see. Just so I want to make sure I get the name correctly. Yes, Jin Kim and Michael Camacho. They designed Belle. They are Disney veterans. And they also, I think, a studio called Cartoon Saloon who... Wolf... Is it Breadwinner and Wolf something? I think both of them were nominated for the Breadwinner and Wolf Makers, which were nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. Wolf Walkers, sorry.
Yeah.
They're an Irish animation studio. They helped with backgrounds for You, the virtual world. So if it feels like Disney,
Intentionally.
basically it's
okay,
Disney.
Because there were parts where I was like, it was specifically Belle's design sort of like spoke to me. I was like, this feels like a 3D Disney character, but in like an anime sort of style.
Yeah,
as well.
I think if I remember correctly, Jin Kim was Tangled and Frozen.
I fucking
character
knew it.
designer.
Because I was like, she kind of
makes
looks like
sense.
Elsa if you just
Yeah.
put her in like a VR
Because
aesthetic.
all of Disney, no offense to Jin Kim here, but all of Disney's characters look the fucking same
They
at
really
this point.
do.
Yeah, true. If you just change hair and eye color, it's like, oh, it's a fully different person now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, Pixar have the same problem as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The animation really, I wouldn't say caught me off guard, but I was like, oh, that's like different and new. The same thing which I had with, I think, Promare. I was like, oh, that's different.
we are watching stylistic
Yeah.
films, yeah. Because You is entirely CG, for better or worse. And obviously all the real world stuff is traditional, hand drawn.
It's a great way to differentiate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
what they already are.
And I think they introduced the concept of the virtual world really well. Although the beginning you're kind of confused, you kind of get dropped into the deep end, like,
Yeah.
ta-da! I'm like, what?
I'm not a fan of the narration
Yeah.
that they give twice, which is an introduction narration you hear when you go in to You, I assume, but I don't think it makes any fucking sense.
No.
Anyway.
I mean, we hear later on that that's the narration that basically opens up the app. in the
Yeah,
universe
that's what I
as
mean.
well.
So like you hear
Yeah.
that when you, but again, I don't think it makes any sense.
It really doesn't. No.
Especially because it's like, managed by the 5 pillars of arbitrary or something like that, and I'm like, that never comes
It was
up.
like the 5
No, yeah.
voices or
That's
sages.
it,
or
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
whatever.
I was
the
like,
5 pillars, the
Yeah.
voices or something.
Yeah.
the first thing I thought, are they God?
Yeah.
What?
What are the U rules?
We never get any like anything expanded on that.
As far
No.
as we're concerned, like, You just doesn't have any moderation whatsoever.
No, except
No.
for Monster Bad. That's it.
Yeah.
No, except for Thundercats over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the police were all cat-like people, I believe. Or
Kind of.
Sort of. You
Yeah.
had some that were like were just straight up animals,
Mm-hmm.
and then you
Yeah.
had like Justin, the Justice.
Who? Okay, so quick theory about Justin that I think I don't think I brought up in the original episode, but I think I remember reading this afterwards. People think he might be the dad.
Okay, I did actually think that later on
Mm-hmm.
because
that's an interesting theory, yeah.
they're both abusive arseholes
Yes.
with power,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
I don't think they share a voice actor though, so
That's
that.
usually the main
It's a-
giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, it could be kind of like where his voice is different in You
Yeah.
for some reason or another.
Maybe he didn't like himself enough.
Yeah.
How did you watch it? Did you watch it subtitled?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so
I
you're
also
the same.
watched it subbed.
So I watched this dubbed because I watched it subtitled originally. And I watched it dubbed because they hired a singer / voice actress for Belle, and so they recorded all the songs in English. But what I noticed was Justin is voiced by Chase Crawford, who is the Deep in
Oh,
The
yeah.
Boys, which was so fucking bizarre. Because he
That
is
is a choice.
I know he's
Yeah.
an evil bastard in this, but he's a wimpy, kind of
Fish boy.
insufferable fish boy in The Boys, and there couldn't be two very opposite spectrums.
Wow.
So that was an interesting.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's definitely. Oh, it's you. Huh.
I need to watch The Boys.
Yeah.
You do. It's very good.
Yes.
It's a wild ride.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
for
heard.
Sure. Yeah.
You've told me how much of a wild ride it can be.
God, I'm never gonna forget the first episode of season 3.
I still haven't seen it. Though I know what happens, but fuck it
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
This is an episode about Belle.
Yes. Yeah, so people think that Justin is possibly
I think that's
Kay
an interesting
and
take.
Tomo's
Yeah.
dad. Yeah.
It would make sense.
Because the only thing I'm unsure about is they really show the virtual world to be something more child oriented. Because we mostly see the children being teenagers. Being very into it.
Though there is like a whole fighting scene apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes me think it's like, oh, it's like, I don't want to say it's like Minecraft. You can do whatever you want within this.
I would say Roblox is a better comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I hate that you're right.
Because I can just
you do
imagine there's
anything,
yeah.
really, yeah.
I assume that the part we mainly see is like a hub world of sorts. Though there's just parts of it that seem totally uninhabited, abandoned, and kind of derelict for some reason, which I
Yeah,
don't
I'm not sure
fully
how that
understand.
works.
Yeah. And then I assume like you can go off into portals or other servers or something like that to, you know, go beat the shit out of people. Or,
Yeah, exactly. So
I assume have virtual sex because that's always what happens.
I was waiting for it to be like, don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me.
It happened in Ready Player One, so you know.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
But because I think we mostly see like the main part
Yeah.
of the server, I suppose, like the lobby.
Yeah, I guess lobby's the best.
Because it's the place where you spawn,
Uh-huh.
to, you know,
Yeah.
say it like that. That's the place where you start.
The home world, I
The
guess.
home world,
We never
yeah.
really get a name for anything within.
No,
No,
not really.
absolutely.
We get
not.
the dome.
The dome.
The
Which
dome.
is- Dome.
Which comes up
It's a
once and
dome.
then disappears and we
Really?
never get any functionality
Nope.
for it.
No.
Nope.
It's weird because like that's a concert space, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
It seems like the most impractical fucking concert space.
I mean, it's a virtual concert.
I know,
Yeah.
but like, are they sitting in the wall panels or are they watching through cameras and the wall panels? How do you get?
Yeah, they don't
Can you
show.
watch any camera
Yeah.
from the feed? Can you just watch her back? Why would you want to
No
watch her
idea.
back?
Yeah. Because like the only thing I wouldn't say I disliked it. I was just like, like she is kind of the fanfiction main character syndrome.
A little bit.
You know, where it's like first of all, mother died. That's an instant. Like, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's an instant for me. Like, oh, okay, great. Is a great singer, but she can't sing. And the first thing she enters this world is like, I'm a sing.
I can understand
And
that.
they all clapped.
I mean, okay, that part.
It's,
But I
it's
can-
a movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
it is.
get
I
the...
can forgive it for
Yeah.
this, the sake of this movie for sure. But it was a bit where I'm like, I wish we had a little more lead up to this, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but it's also a 2-hour movie.
Yeah,
so...
exactly. I wouldn't know where or how.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the choices they made. It was just a bit, I wouldn't say rushed. It just felt too coincidental. That it's like, oh, she happens to be an amazing singer, and everyone happens to be there, and everyone happens to love her for it. And she's instantly famous. Instantly.
Well, I don't think like everyone's there because I think it's you see the initial reaction being that people don't really want to listen and kind of disappear, and then it's like it's only through, I guess, someone like screen recording it,
Yeah.
and then that goes viral. So I wouldn't say it's a and they all clapped, you know, moment. It's more of like a I went in, I did a thing, I didn't know someone was recording it, and now I'm in this situation. How the fuck do I
Now
get
I'm
out of it?
famous.
Which, you know, is definitely how it happens now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sadly.
I was waiting for her to be like, this concert sponsored by Raycon.
Yeah.
Get your E25 everyday earbuds.
Yeah, and also Audible.
Don't forget Surfshark.
Surfshark?
Surfshark VPN.
VPN. I can't speak. I'm sorry.
I was
Monster Energy.
Prime.
I like the scene in the dome. As impractical as it would be, and I
Yeah.
did have thoughts about it. I was like, how the fuck does this work? Like, some people are gonna have amazing seats,
Yeah.
and some people are right at the fucking top, and they're like, I think I can see her from here.
It's like all the jokes that people make about arena concerts, where if you're at like the top, you're just not in the actual venue.
No,
And
you're
you need
just
mountain
watching the
climbing gear to
screen.
get it.
Yeah. But you know, I get it. For again, virtual world, I get it.
Yeah.
It visually worked really well. Good introduction of monster. What do they call him again? I don't remember.
The Beast.
Beast, but
Beast?
is that what they call him in the subtitles?
I don't.
I think they just
remember.
call him Beast or
the.
the Beast.
The Beast. Yeah, because that's the interesting thing. Like, because Belle's just the English title. The original Japanese title is. Yeah, I'm not reading the Japanese one. The Dragon and the Freckled Princess is how you translate it.
Oh no, they call him like Dragon.
I kind of thought that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
what they called him in the
yeah.
Japanese version. He's called Beast in the dub. Yeah, he shows up in the dome for for the first time.
Well, I don't remember what he does. Why is
Fights.
He fights. He just does that.
Why they're chasing him, how that happened, we'd never find out.
No.
No.
He was just being a beast.
He was just being,
what he
he
did.
went beast mode.
Yeah.
He sure did go beast mode.
really did.
Yeah. God, and that's also our introduction there to the Emerald Blast,
Yeah, the unveiling beam.
the unveil. Which,
Yeah.
The
I'm
power of the Chaos Emerald.
yeah. Which was weird to begin with. I'm like, what?
Why?
Yeah.
Is the practical question.
Yeah. Also, I feel like
Who gave him it?
It looks cool,
it needs a fucking long time to charge, I'll tell you that.
but it looks cool.
It's got to get their IP address.
Yeah, exactly. Because, part of me was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so is it like a fantastical thing, or this Emerald Gun Blast thing secretly finds their IP address and accesses their camera,
I would
which
assume
then...
it like pulls the raw biometric data.
yeah, will make sense.
Yeah. Sci-fi.
Sci-fi, yeah, there you go.
This is one thing I'm watching this. Like, there's been the endeavor recently, obviously, to not cover as much sci-fi, and like I was like, is it just my tastes tainting, what we cover? But what I realized is even just generally looking into, other titles and stuff like that, if it's not Studio Ghibli, it's harder to find stuff that's tinged with fantasy.
Yeah.
A lot of anime is tinged more with sci-fi
Yeah.
than anything else. And there's like a big lean towards technology and stuff like that in it. Which, here is like one of the prime examples.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what my point there was.
We tried to not go sci-fi, but we've rounded back to sci-fi.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
my point.
But it's a light sci-fi, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's definitely, we just have this fun thing.
Yeah.
That's all.
I
That's the
think
only
it,
difference.
it very much kind of asks you to just not think about how you works.
Yeah, but forgivingly.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you're just like, yeah, sure.
It's in the sense that like, okay, this is basically magic, but we're going to explain it away that doesn't sound magical. So
Isekai, bitch.
yeah, it's enough to make it go, okay, fine, I'll just take that as an explanation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's really magic, and they know it's really magic, but here's our blanket term to like,
Yeah, like the common mode of
explain.
transport is flying.
yeah.
They just
Apparently.
kind of,
They just
Yeah.
they just zoom.
They just zoom in.
which makes sense if you think about what most people do in Minecraft.
yeah.
They zoom.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
human nature just requires a zoom.
I think every MMO, if you go into it now, everyone's just flying mounts is all they're using. So
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Human urge to take flight.
Must be bird.
Must be bird.
How do you control it is my big question.
Thoughts.
Willpower.
I would be flying into so many buildings if it was
Yeah.
thought.
'Cause I thought about, you put yourself there, it's like, what would I look like? Like, what if you get stuck being something
You
fucking
would
ugly?
be a page of a screenplay. That's how you would look.
With a face.
With a face.
Yeah.
I'm
'Cause of
basically
your
the map from
obsession.
Dora.
Yeah, a little bit. Because of your obsession with things that happen, like films from the perspective of, the film industry and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, you would just be a page of a screenplay.
A shitty one.
The camera zoomed in on the camera. Oh? What does that mean?
The people suddenly look bigger. It's like, that's a zoom.
No, no.
That'll be a zoom.
Instead of speaking, like, words just appear on you, and that's how you speak.
Yeah.
Very impractical.
I just follow my own script.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Yeah. I'll take it.
And it's not like what you actually want to say. It's just like your internal monologue.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
occasionally it just goes beans, 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 beans.
Croissant.
Croissant.
Honestly, that's a great idea. Someone who just, his internal dialogue is just always on their face. So like, bean. Beans.
Beans.
Zeebs.
Zins.
Beyonds.
Bees.
Bees bean? Bean bees.
Bees. Bean.
Beanie weenies on the...
Huh.
What are we talking
This
about?
train of thought went
moving
somewhere.
on. So, Luca, we have the popular
Okay,
girl who plays
I
the
want to
sax.
cover this real quick.
He's about to go
Yeah.
off.
Why they fucking did this in the subtitles, I don't know. Her name is not Luca. It is Ruka. Luca is not a name that exists.
I was already like, that's a very
I did think when I read that that's a unique name.
It's a dude's name, if anything, not with a K, usually with a C.
Yeah.
There's a fucking Disney movie called that. It is Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her name's Ruka. We have been G Kids, right, are a company that bring anime to the West primarily as their main thing.
Yeah.
They should know the whole L&R thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, shit like this pisses me off.
No, I get that. That's ridiculous. That
Because we talked about it like a little bit.
Here's the thing. They got it right in the dub.
Oh. That's just a shame, man. Jesus.
What did they do? Did they autocorrect? No, because I typed Luca to you and my phone was like, nah, dude.
Yeah, because like...
It's like they couldn't have just autocorrected everything.
Because when we talked about it, we were talking about like one scene with like her and... What's the
Canoe guy?
Yeah, Canoe Guy.
Oh, I can only think of him as Canoe Guy.
It's fine. We know Canoe.
We'll just call him Canoe Guy. But like with her and I just sort of said his name and like 20 minutes pass.
Yeah,
you're talking about something else, and then you suddenly realize, wait, Luca.
Who the fuck?
and I'm like, it says Luca in the subs.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, motherfucker! But the thing is, I thought they had fixed it for the 4K disc, and then I checked. They fixed it again. It's right in the captions for the English dub, but it's wrong in the 4K subtitles as well.
Why?
Yeah. So that was... I must have just automatically, in my brain, I sometimes just override what the subtitles say because what I'm hearing understand.
I can't do
and
that.
so I hear Ruka and I think I just ignore... I mostly ignore names and subtitles at this point, I think, just because I mainly understand. Lupin especially because I'm not a fan of Fuji Cakes.
Yeah.
Or Chinny Chin Chin.
We'll get there when we get to Dragon of Doom.
Yes.
We're still in the Belle section.
Yeah.
Ruka, which is a better name than Luca.
Oh, it makes so much more sense.
I like her as a character.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's kind of like, the popular girl who's still really nice.
Yeah.
Like, you get why she's popular.
She doesn't...
she's not
I think she's the
popular.
kind of person that doesn't realize she's popular.
Yeah, she's just such a... First of all, pretty and just so kind that everyone's like, I wouldn't wish ill upon her. Even
I want to say,
You're
I
cool.
love how fucking nerdy and derpy her You avatar is.
Yes.
It's just someone permanently with a saxophone
I was
dressed
about
like
to say,
a little wizard.
Does she get the saxophone? Like, she takes it.
But the thing, when you see her in real life, she's also just standing there for the rest of that scene with the saxophone. And I'm like, do you know how impractical this is?
She, as a character, she's so nice. Like calling over, what was the main girl's name again? Jesus.
Suzu.
Oh, Suzu. Yeah, just calling her over. Come in the picture. Just kind stuff like that. I'm like, I like you. You're fun. You're nice.
You're cool.
You're just so sweet.
Yeah.
Like, part of you is like, I want to hate her so bad because she's smart, she's talented, she's attractive.
Which is what Hero
But
does.
she's so nice.
I love how the first time we ever see her, she's just doing the derpiest little dance with her saxophone. And I'm like...
And they're just talking about her. Oh, she's so nice. She's so pretty.
Cool.
She's so cool. She's just derping around with her saxophone. Like,
how's she a band kid and is popular?
That's what I was thinking.
She's just
very few people can pull that off. Especially saxophone. Like, it's not even a cool instrument.
No,
like, it's
saxophone
funky.
is cool.
It's funky, but it's also like, I appreciate that they play it, but
No, if you play a sax, like, you're cool as fuck.
Yeah. Just get like sunglasses and play saxophone.
Shout out to my friend from high school, Holly, who plays saxophone.
Nice.
And the fact that she has a crush on the derpiest guy.
The canoe guy.
The canoe dude.
They
And
just
everyone
talk
just
about,
assumes that she's into Suzu's childhood friend.
Yeah.
Because she's nice to him like once.
Yeah. I gotta pull up the
Because
card.
it's high
men
school.
and women can't be friends. No. Shinobu.
Is the... And then you got Kamashine, who's the canoe boy. Suzu's friend who has a passion for canoeing is the Wikipedia description.
'Cause they introduce him. He's holding a canoe. Who wants to join my canoe club? And he's like, no one wants to join his canoe.
I love how
But he's
the
trying
next
his
time,
best.
like I think the next time we see him after that, he's just canoeing in the middle of a river.
He's just a dude canoeing.
It's like that is his single trait. He's weird and he really likes canoeing.
He made it to nationals, so fucking good for him.
So good for him.
He's like, I love how humble brag it is though when he says that, because he's like, oh, I done some of my worst times, and he's like, and then just casually mentions that he qualifies for national, and Suzu's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, national. Good. That's good.
Nice.
Yeah. Like,
is he the only person in the canoe club?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
They sure make it seem.
I mean, he wasn't getting any recruits when we first see him, and he's like, join the canoe club.
The reason I have that question is because I've seen enough like slice of life anime that deals with like high school clubs in anime that like I know that you need at least 4 members to make a club.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
No, it's like every canoe is 4 people, but nah, he's fucking going for it.
He's that good.
His canoes.
Carrying mini canoes in his giant
He has
canoe.
4 at once. My dude canoeing.
And I really like the scene between Ruka and him. Just to see her, like, she's popular, but she's just awfully shy.
Yeah.
And just the worst.
That's the funniest scene in the entire movie.
Yes.
Yeah, where he's like, oh, she says that she
Just a little
wants to
crush
come
on
watch
him.
me at nationals. Does that mean she likes me? And she just goes bright red, and he's like, I was kidding, and just looks at Suzu, and Suzu's like, yep.
Yeah.
And he just keeps looking at her, and she's like, yes.
Doesn't he just run out?
Yeah, he runs
He
away.
runs out.
I love this. He's having a freak out. Suzu has to go and drag him back in, and this whole time Ruka's just like standing there, like hands.
wanting the ground to swallow her
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, she stays there like a still image.
Yeah, and I was like, did it pause? It just stands still.
It saves on animation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
for
definitely
sure.
did. Those 2 seconds. That was such a wholesome interaction, just because I feel like pacing wise we needed it as well. So it just kind of slows it down. You're like, haha, haha.
It brings the humanity to the
Yeah.
For sure.
side cast, who don't get enough to do, I don't think.
Really, no.
And I hate to sound cynical, but that scene really only exists so that it makes sense for them to be in the room in the finale section. Yeah.
But it's done
still
well, though.
It is done
Yeah.
well. I love the moment after that when like Suzu's leaving them to, you know, awkwardly be
Talk.
together.
Yeah.
And she sees Shinobu, and you think he's gonna confess.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're Belle. And I'm just like, how the fuck did he figure that out?
First of all, her name means Belle. So.
No, but the main reason like all that we're showing on screen is that they were friends in elementary school, and it was like very much school, and that was it. We never see that he knows anything about her love for music, what that means for her with her mum, the struggles that she's going through. So when he's suddenly like, "You're Belle," it's like,
because they also have the dynamic of I need to tell you something. No, I need to tell you something, and they're like,
Who's gonna do it?
You're the fucking singing kid. It's like, what? No. No.
This repeats for 2 minutes.
No.
truck comes by, disappear.
Amazing moment where she says,
Did she grab onto the
Yes.
truck?
I love that she Batmaned out. Yeah.
I was like, this is what happens in shonen anime, where they like grab onto the side of the truck or something. She just full on disappears.
Yeah, I like to imagine she just zooms.
She just done the no.
ding.
No, what the truck's actually obscuring is just the dust cloud that's left behind.
Yeah. And then Shinobu just goes, I think it's Roku Canoe Guy, and he's like, where'd she go? Oh, there. I was like, okay, let's go there then. And they're renting a room at the old school.
Yeah, they're not renting it. they're using it.
Yeah, because like they say, oh, this room is available. I'm like, you have money for this?
No. So if you are a student at a school in Japan, if a room is free at any point in time, you can fill out a form to use it for.
Yeah.
Usually it's for clubs, but you can use it pretty much for anything.
She just
Including
brought her
like bringing a full fucking PC.
I think that may be in violation of some school rules.
Yeah.
But
the
you know,
movie doesn't care.
the movie doesn't care.
Can I just talk about how she brought her fucking PC on her
She
back?
has a big box on her back, Demon Slayer style, and pulls out the biggest fucking TV I have ever seen. PC aside, that gives me anxiety. It's the monitor that I have so many questions about.
Oh, yeah.
Fair question as well. Yeah.
The bag is a TARDIS.
Very Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
And I have here my ginormous fucking setup.
How did you? Don't question.
No, shh. You got the setup. Don't you fucking worry about it. Okay?
Nothing in this movie uses browser windows or text messages practically.
No.
Like, anytime she's looking at Belle's feed, it's just a mass of text bubbles going by,
Yeah.
overlaid on top of each other.
In several languages.
In several languages, translating occasionally.
Because I'm looking like, where's my language? Where's my language?
Looking for the little bit of Dutch.
Yeah.
Did not find it. And then whenever I
no
saw
Dutch.
just, our alphabet, I would be like, and then it would change.
And then browser windows, they're all just stacked on top of each other
Yep.
in no order. Like,
Nope.
something crashed and you've just clicked it a bunch of times and it's going, error. Because at the end, it would have been so much easier if they just had, a bunch of tabs or something.
Yeah.
And gone, where's that voice coming from? And not had to click on a million different windows on
Yeah.
the screen.
Yeah, like, that's what I kind of think it's funny that like we are so advanced in technology. Nah, the tab thing, we're not there yet. We can put our consciousness inside a virtual world. It's like, nah, the tabs overlay. We don't need a better system.
We
What are you
had to give up
talking about?
tab groups to get full VR.
I mean, what would you rather?
Yeah.
I'd rather tab groups, I'm gonna be honest.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I can take waiting a little bit for VR.
But I think the ending works really well. The
I
only
want to know what
thing-
happens to the brothers.
Same.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, she's going all the way there. I'm like, okay.
And then she comes back and
then she
everything
comes
was
back.
fine.
Yeah, like, did she report to the police?
Did she try to do that before?
They
heading
did.
all the
They
way?
tried to call and file
Yeah.
what was it called?
Caution report or something.
No. They wanted a wellness check.
Wellness check. There you go.
wellness
But apparently you have to wait 48 hours, which I'm like,
What?
that's
It's just stupid.
That's for missing kids.
Yeah.
And even that is a myth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as long when you think, wow, my kid was supposed to be home an hour ago, you can report that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That. Don't believe the 48-hour shit.
No.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
You're missing, you notify.
Exactly. You don't know if someone's well, you check.
I don't know if this is maybe one of those weird things of like just Japan being weird, or maybe it's to facilitate storytelling. Who knows?
I hope it is, because if you're like, I'm worried someone might off themselves, and they're like, 40 hours, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, this is kind of a now situation.
Get on that.
Because also, they have video evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like child abuse, you want to get, soon as possible.
Were they,
Yeah.
were they
ASAP.
recording?
Yeah, they
Okay,
recorded
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have evidence.
Because he gets sent a clip of it. Remember,
yeah,
the dad
yeah.
sees it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Then yeah, they have evidence.
They have evidence. So I have to assume that that things are being dealt with accordingly after she just looks at the guy and he crumbles.
Yeah. Like she gives him the dead stare of
Yeah.
like fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he hits her, like,
He
scratches.
scratches
He
her.
scratches
Yeah,
her.
So
Yeah.
then he's gonna hit her, and then she turns around and just stares at him, and he just crumbles like a little bitch.
What have I done?
I love that he's like, I can't hit a woman. I can hit my
You
teenage
just
sons,
see
but,
him
like, not a
fall
woman.
apart and like then
Yeah.
eventually scurry away like an animal, and I'm like, what?
I would have, like, some
happened?
dialogue.
Yeah.
Just because it is legit a stare down.
She just stands there like she does as Belle, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't as cool in our icon.
I will kick a
iconic
child.
Moment.
Like, no offense, Dad.
This-
he does not have moral high
No,
ground
like
on
this
anything.
dude has beat the shit out of his son. He ain't refraining from kicking a kid.
No. Female or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, he
you don't
doesn't
care about gender in this.
No.
Like, he's an arsehole to everyone.
Like, I hate to say, I would have liked to see him try.
I mean, there's no one about, so like,
No,
yeah.
what's the harm?
No, but like, there's no moral repercussions for him in
Yeah.
that situation.
Nothing would realistically stop him.
No.
At this point, he's already going to jail.
Yeah.
Like, well, what's one more? I hate to argue this, made up from a storytelling perspective.
Why is it you that's arguing for this?
I'm a woman, it's okay.
I will advocate for domestic
I support women's wrongs.
It was just a weird scene. It's just this grown man who has hit several children.
Yeah.
Who's
His own sons.
Who is his own sons.
If he's not gonna stop for them, he's not gonna stop for anyone.
No.
For this strange girl that's like, don't hit them. Now I must stare you down.
Is it the blood? Is he just that scared of blood?
He's like, oh, that's disgusting. I'm like, ew. I don't want that on my fingers. Ew.
I wonder if it's maybe meant to be that he's very used to them, you know, showing fear and having a fear response, and Suzu doesn't.
So it's like the classic sort of bully idea that like if you stand up, they're cowards.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a better take.
It wasn't that clear.
No. I don't think it is, but I think because he scratched her and like, you know, she's bleeding and she just stares at him and doesn't do anything, and she's not flinching at his potential threat. It just kind of scares the shit out of him, I guess.
Yeah. And
that's a reach. I feel like it's a reach.
That it is reaching, and
I feel like a lot of what happens in the final act is a bit of a reach, though. In general,
they really want us to suspend our disbelief in the final.
Yeah,
because you know we all know how the internet works.
Yeah,
good shit's not as interesting as bad shit. You know,
Yeah.
if some girl was going viral for singing in this virtual reality world, and they were like, "Yeah, but this bear just put a hat on," like half of them would be like, "Bear that what?"
I mean, that's unfair. Everyone's gonna switch to bear in a hat immediately.
You know what I mean? Like that's the part where I'm like, I understand, but I feel like we needed a note of people are fucking stupid.
You can't use the example of the bad thing on the internet as something that is absolutely good.
I'm sorry. I can't not think of the comment on that video I sent you guys a while ago of the bear in like the water bucket.
He's just a guy.
Where the top comment was something like, "It gets me hard when they sit like a human." Of all the things, of all the combinations of the English language, why that?
Why that? Yeah.
Why that?
Like, animals looking human disturbs me. It freaks me the fuck out. Yeah, there's certain cats look too human. I can't. I hate it.
Do you hate Garfield?
No.
Garfield.
Enough cat.
Garfield.
It's enough cat-like for me.
Just a
Have you seen the live-action movie?
Yes.
Okay.
back to Belle.
God, yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but it has some bits where I'm like, again, you have to suspense of disbelief, but if you can just kind of brain off, it works.
Yeah.
Oh, it works very well.
It works very well. You know, it just, if you were to pretend this happens in the real world, that's the only time where I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I think if you take it for its core kind of theme and stuff, which is Suzu healing and finding out that she has friends and her family that she's loved and learns to value herself, then it's a very nice and beautiful film.
He does that perfectly.
It's when you take in the final act that you're like, I'm sorry, this is very different.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't know what to do with the Beast storyline and kind of wrote 15 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like they originally wanted it to make it the childhood friend, whose name I keep forgetting.
Shinobu.
Because that's
See, I'm scared because if I read that, I feel like I'm going to mispronounce it, and I'd rather just say I forget other than mispronounce it.
Shinny boy.
Shin.
Yeah,
it feels like they wanted to make it him for like most of it, and then they were like, that seems really basic.
Yeah,
So
I
they
wouldn't have
switched
liked
it.
that.
Yeah.
No.
And to be fair, I probably wouldn't have either because it would have been really easy to predict.
Yeah,
it was
I think you would
very
have then just
predictable.
had a basic retelling of
Yeah,
Beauty and the Beast.
which is why I'm saying I get like why they obviously went another way, and I like that they subverted it that way. But
not
still,
sure
it's
what
still
I'm
a
going
bit-
with child abuse.
Yeah.
and like I seen something from Hosoda saying, it shouldn't be taboo to deal with child abuse on screen, and I'm like, well, no, but
not like this.
maybe if it has a purpose and you have like some kind of like resolution, good or bad. Whereas Belle doesn't have a resolution to that. It comes and it goes, and I couldn't find anything online that kind of says, this is what the script said. They went home, or the novelization said this. I couldn't find anything.
I keep getting the idea now that like after she's had the stare down with the dad and he scurries away, she's just like, well, I feel good.
Yeah, it's like, so what are you guys up to today? Like, no. I'm going home. What are you guys doing? Oh, you don't have a home. Oh,
well.
I mean,
I did my good. I did my good deed for the day.
Headcanon, I think she took them to a police station and then was told you can't do anything more and went home.
Probably.
If I were to write that scene.
Yeah, maybe like, their mom's sister is taking them in.
Oh,
or
okay.
something.
I thought you were going to say their mom. I was like, she's very much dead.
Yeah. It's very Disney of them to be like, no mothers.
Yeah.
No mothers in this story.
It's a parallel because main character has the same thing. It's smart, guys.
Which they don't set up.
No.
Because like Suzu's dad is very much just.
He's there.
Fine. Like he's not a great dad. He's not very present, but he's not bad.
Yeah, I would say he's maybe in the position of like,
how do I interact
with a teenage,
but maybe
child.
More letting her come to him.
I mean, that's understandable.
And like that sort of, it might take a while, but eventually she will come round, and like giving her the space to work it out herself, which is a style of parenting.
Yeah, there are some problems you can have there, but like I get where he's coming from.
Like you say, he's not bad, and so I think that kind of for me, that lets that approach be good in a respect.
Yeah,
like he's still there, he's still providing, but he's not
pressuring.
He's not pressuring. I think the story easily could have been that he's meddling and pushing her away.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, that's we've done that a lot.
Because it ends with him being like, let's have dinner.
Yeah.
Let's have dinner. I'm
Which
like,
is
that's
nice circle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To the whole thing.
I would say so. I would have just liked to see him a bit more. Just so we can really see what their dynamic is like.
Because he only gets like 3 scenes, I think.
Yeah. Like, and one of them's just narration, really responding to her well, is it narration in the subs as well? On the train?
No, it's more like... it's a narration, but like it's still framed in like it's text messages.
Yeah, no, it's just because when I was watching it, they didn't translate any of the text messages on screen, so I was like, oh, what's happening? Oh, he's talking.
Yeah. It's still narration.
Yeah, so I was wondering how they handled that. I've seen it, I should know, but I can't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Memory.
Yeah. No, I like that scene because this is a film, very much filled with music, and you just have the soundtrack dip there for this very nice conversation that's, I guess, very pertinent to how things are nowadays with communication and stuff like that. And maybe that's, her first step towards being able to communicate to him how she's feeling is doing it in text form. I don't know. I feel like I'm not trying to be overly defensive of how it handles it.
No. For sure. I understand where you're going for,
Exactly. It's still good.
Yeah. Because it's a very sweet... It's one of those small things where, you tell whoever in your life, like, hey, let's have dinner together.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing, you get to have a chat. It's bonding time together.
Exactly.
And to me, it also just implies they don't always do it.
Yeah.
They maybe eat separate or whatever. So just to have that moment of let's, sit down and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bond.
We must bond, daughter.
Child, bond with me.
I've been waiting for you, Mr.
Child.
Miss Child. He just gets to the train station. He's got like a cat while waiting for her.
Got you a cat.
No, they've had a cat the whole time. We've just never mentioned it till now.
They have a 3-legged dog. That's a thing that's in the movie for some reason.
I didn't even notice.
No.
You see her kind of like taking care of the nub.
Oh yeah, in like that one scene.
Yeah. Because until that point, I totally thought it was just a fully functioning dog.
I mean, it still can be.
I mean, it
just has
is,
three
but like
legs.
he's missing, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's not until the scene where she's like kind of cleaning the stump that I'm like, oh, it's 3 legs. And then it makes a point of showing you it throughout the rest of the film, and I'm like, okay.
Symbolism.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Healing.
This was the weird thing that I thought was like a weird recurring thing in Hosoda films. Is the beginning of the film where she stands in the bridge and tries to sing and then throws up. And
Which I'm going to be honest, unintentionally funny.
Yeah. It was funny to me because basically the same thing happens in Wolf Children, just like vastly different context, where one of the kids eats like the packing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the silica gels, I think. Yeah.
And it's the same framing. She throws up, falls over, lying on the side, sick, and I'm like, Hosoda, what? Why?
That's his little thing.
I don't like that this is his thing.
And these are like I think the only 2 Hosoda films I've seen are Wolf Children and I've seen Mirai, which is but Teams Meeting. Sorry.
I got the same.
Yeah. I was like, that's a weird thing to come up again.
Yeah.
How long have we been talking about Belle?
Oh.
Fuck off.
No.
You're kidding.
No way.
We have not.
No.
That's
surely
impossible.
not.
That can't be right. There's no way we've been talking about Belle for 50 minutes.
Christ. I thought we were going under.
Yeah, same.
So let's move on to Dragon.
Let's
scores. Before we do scores, one little fact. Hosoda was initially going to make Belle a musical, if you couldn't tell.
Oh, what a shocker.
that I would never have guessed.
No.
The only reason it's not like what we associate as musical, you know, everyone just randomly breaks into song and, you know, kind of sings what they think and stuff, is because they're not really a thing in Japan. It's just not like within their cinema lexicon, it's not
Just not a thing they do.
thing, no.
Wow.
You get stage plays and stuff which might have musicality to it,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
don't really get musicals in a traditional sense.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It still very much to me feels like it has the DNA.
Yeah,
of
it
a
really
musical.
does.
Yeah, it's missing that
Missing a couple songs.
yeah, because
To
there
make
is
it a
a
full
lot
musical.
of periods where I'm like, please just let's get some oomph in here because we're going
Dance
a while.
break.
Yeah. So
Flash mob.
scores.
8.5.
7.5.
I'm gonna go 8.5 as well. Yeah.
Nice. Very good. I feel like all makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't really have any notes on it. I think mainly just there's some moments where the CG I can take or leave.
Yeah.
Especially reaction shots during A Million Miles Away, which is the song she does kind of near the end of the film. We see characters reacting and I'm like, could have spent a little more time on that.
Yeah.
Overall, pretty good though.
Yeah. Very, very much enjoyed it. Definitely one I will keep coming back to, I think.
Understandable.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So
Lupin.
Dragon.
We're
Lupin.
That was 3 because he's the third.
overall, good. Not the best, but it's good.
It's better than some of the ones we've watched. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
the last 2 we watched recently, which was like Nostradamus and Dead or Alive, but they were sort of. I mean, I still liked them, but they were sort of mid.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think as far as the films go, like this is a TV special, and I said to you last night, I was like, this feels higher budget than some of the films we've watched.
Yeah,
you
for
see,
sure.
the weird thing is it does in a lot of areas, but there's a couple areas where it also doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I pointed out the the end of the movie where Goemon is trying to cut the.
Do they use the same sequence?
Yeah, they
do.
fully just reuse it and paste the missile into the second part.
That's not the only time in the film they did that though.
They done it underwater. I can kind of understand the underwater sequence.
Yeah, it's when he's like trying to get out.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
They
that
do.
bit,
He does the exact same movement twice.
Yeah, I can sort of get that one. The I'd say the end of the film where he's trying to slice the
Yeah, it's
the
very blatant
stealth bomber
there.
is a bit more egregious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another one though, like I want to say near like maybe the starting of the movie, because I remember noticing it like again before the underwater sequence, but I can't remember now what specifically it was.
No, okay.
I was trying to rack my brain about it since like we started talking about it last night a little, and I'm like, what was it? Because I swear I remember pointing it out to myself, but I couldn't.
I think as far as stuff we've watched goes, this is definitely better than almost all of the movies. The only two that it's not better than is Cagliostro and the First.
Yeah,
Yes.
agreed.
You know, it's better than Mamo, it's better than Nostradamus, and it's better than
Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive.
Yes.
And it's weird because I wasn't sure how the TV specials were gonna feel. But yeah, I had a pleasant time with this.
I liked this one.
Yeah.
A lot of fun moments, I'd say. It's nice to see the group kind of split up a bit.
Yeah, it has a bit more Goemon than
Yeah.
most of the movies we've watched, I think.
Yeah, and it goes
Yeah.
into him like a lot more than
Yeah.
the other ones, because he's usually just in the other ones
There.
I noticed he's just a sort of guy that
He's-
pops up
yeah,
and he
he's
does
just
the
there.
things occasionally.
I'd also say I don't take on board any of the backstory given to him here.
No.
I can see all this
weird.
being retconned in
Yeah.
another like
It's
series.
like, no, he had a weird dream. don't think about it. Also, hearing him laugh was fucking
Yeah.
weird. Because there was like gas that was going to make them violently kill themselves, kill each other, but it makes them laugh. And
Yeah.
I had a moment where I was like, I've never heard this man laugh.
no.
And it feels wrong.
Yeah, it's weird.
It does.
That's
Also,
when
he
you-
could have killed every single person in like a second.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he didn't.
But he didn't.
He fought back totally.
Yeah. He's a samurai. He has a code of honor even when he's apparently filled with rage gas.
Yeah. Rage gas.
I mean, that's what it is.
That's
Yeah,
what
I mean,
it is.
it's- yeah. And in the final scene where we have the double slicer sequence,
Is it not the triple slicer?
I mean, yeah, he slices 3 times, so two are the same.
They're the same, yeah,
Exact
but
same.
still, continuity wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that Guillermo's just standing on top of this airplane, not attached anyway, in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes he holds it with his hands. I'm like, yeah, haha. And twice
He lands on it sideways.
jumps
Yeah.
off, and everyone's like, Guillermo, no!
For
Like,
fuck's sake.
After the first one, I'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake! Do you really need to? It's like, I'm gonna slice it in half. I was like, it's
I'm
a
an-
fucking airplane. It's like, okay, you go ahead and try.
You got to understand the power of Zantetsuke.
This is the honorable way to do it. I must.
It's just like, because it's Lupin, you can forgive it. You'll be
Yeah.
like 100%.
like this is the universe this takes place in. Can I also state, by the way, every time Goemon's doing like his honorable samurai thing, Lupin's like, stop being a dramatic bitch. Just stop.
Like, oh my god.
But you know, Lupin's want to talk.
I know, but like his character is that he's a born hypocrite.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
proud of it.
Yeah.
Also, we talk about the fact that Lupin, like, intentionally has Goemon hit the dragon with his sword
Yeah.
for no fucking reason.
He
I
just
mean-
wants to see what would happen.
Like, he's
Yeah.
running away and then suddenly just turns around and stops with the dragon.
I mean, Lupin said, like, I don't care about this. I just want to prove my family could
Yeah.
steal it.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
But there's still no reason for him to stop and go, oh,
There you go.
there you go, hit it.
Go on,
Go
cut
for
this
it.
shit
I
out.
dare you, double dare you, motherfucker.
Like, it doesn't make any sense
No.
why he would, but I suppose it's to show that
Yeah.
its sword cannot break, which I get. We could have done it better.
Yeah. I'm not massively hot on Goemon's characterization throughout this whole film.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're shown to be, like, Goemon's shown to be the least attached to the group.
Yeah.
But he's still very much friends with
Yeah, he still
Lupin and
likes them.
Jigen.
Yeah.
And I don't see him,
Giving up so easily.
yeah,
No.
like, fully betraying them or, like, attacking them in the way that he does in this.
No, exactly. Because I don't feel like the relationship between him and his
Gikyo.
Gikyo.
Yeah.
I
Who
don't.
we don't really ever get established what the relationship is, but the first thing I thought when I seen her was, let's not do another Clarice, please.
Oh, they were going that way for the first bit, and I was like,
Yeah.
no.
She full on tries to seduce him later.
Yeah,
Which is to get the scroll.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
There's one bit I hate when they're like at the waterfall and she comes and rescues him, and she has a line where it's like, I'm an adult now.
Oh, yeah.
And then she takes a step back and like, no, don't do that. She's like, no, that's creepy as fuck. It's It's like, look at me.
It was worse because I was trying to figure out, are they like brother and sister?
Same.
I
That's
don't
a
Is
know,
this like his adopted daughter?
They mentioned the Iga house, and Goemon is Goemon Ishikawa, so they're
Yeah.
not related.
Can I state, by the way, in like the subtitles, they state that like the other ninja guy of like the rival clan, like the guy of like
Oh,
The scarf.
the triple dead.
yeah, he's like, our clans descend from the same ancestor at a certain point, so that makes us stepbrothers. And I'm like,
No,
that's
it
not how
doesn't.
that
No.
works.
It would have been better if you just said brothers.
Yeah.
Because then I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you know, clan, whatever.
Yeah, I
At the very
kinda-
least,
Stepbrothers.
distant. At the
Yeah.
very least, just say like kin or distant cousin.
Ken would have been way better.
Yeah. But no,
I'm your stepbrother.
I'm like, that is the complete opposite way that works.
And it also invites some.
Don't make the joke. Don't make the joke.
I am the scene when they go into the mansion and Kikyo tries to seduce Goemon now has far different context in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
I
make
know.
the
Oh
joke.
no, step bro.
Why'd you make the joke?
I
Oh
just-
no, step ladder.
Jesus. I have to say, most unintentionally funny scene is Kyoko? Was it? No.
Kikyo.
Kikyo. Yeah, Kikyo. Falling down.
Oh yeah.
Because her face is very much neutral.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the scream that comes from her face. It's a full agony death scream. And her face is just
It's so
I had to
like
rewind it and watch it
it's
again.
it's quite stiff as well. She just sort of falls in the same
Yeah.
position, like
Yeah.
oh, this is happening. I guess there's nothing I could do about it.
Meanwhile, in the
then-
back.
And then it's not like a blood pool like forms in like the water. The water just turns red.
Yeah.
Like it's been
Yeah.
dyed that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, she's clearly not dead.
Which is funny because the other guy hit the water first, and he full on had like this sparkling trail
Diamond
of
blood.
blood
Yeah.
coming out of his head.
Multiple times.
yeah, he gets shot 3 times in this movie. It's never explained
the
how he
head.
survives
In the head.
the first 2 times.
Because the first time we see him, it's like he's in the fortune teller's thing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's disguised.
and it's just kind of like a mark in his head, and then he comes back later, and you're like, oh,
Okay.
okay.
I guess
And
it wasn't a kill shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Lupin shoots him in the head the second time in the mansion, and there's just all this blood, and you're like, oh, I guess he's.
And he falls to
Actually
the
does
alligator.
now.
Come on.
And then, no.
No, he's just
No.
back.
And then Lupin shoots him in the head a third time, and just is like, yeah, I'm sure he's dead.
No,
I was
at-
like, I wouldn't take that right now. Like,
At
I
that
need to
point-
poke
Yeah.
and have, make sure.
At that point, I'm like, I don't think that killed him. It's probably the explosion that killed him.
It must
And
be
even
the
then,
explosion, but I mean, if he survived the alligators.
yeah. I also want to state at the end of the movie when Kikyo is like falling, and that's sort of over the credits, I think, or it's like right before
It's
the
right
credits.
before the credits
Oh,
and she
yeah,
falls
yeah,
into
when
it.
she
And she
falls
falls.
into
It's like they purposely left it open that she could come back. I don't think she's coming back.
No, she's not coming back.
No,
No,
there's
no.
no sequel to Dragon of Doom in the TV specials.
Yeah, good. I mean, I like this movie, but I'm glad that we don't get
Yeah.
more.
She's very much there, and she didn't need to be.
She's the plot device for Goemon's story.
Yeah. very
Yeah,
much.
she's Goemon's Fujiko, but
MacGuffin.
yeah,
Yeah.
More than the actual MacGuffin of the movie.
yeah,
Yeah. Also, Titanic is heavily featured.
yes.
I was not expecting Titanic
I
going
did
into
not
this movie.
expect this. The Lupin bingo card is fucking wild.
Oh god, it is. But there's some lines where it's like, "Have you heard of the Titanic?" It's like, which
yeah,
one?
the full-on
which one do you mean?
the full-on explanation before it happens. I was like, no, surely not.
Yes.
Why would you be explaining it otherwise? And then yeah, it's actually the fucking Titanic,
Yeah.
not in the place it actually sank.
No.
No, they were like New York coast. I'm like, I don't think that's right.
I messaged
don't know.
Sean with that exact line. I was like, New York coastal waters, furious giggling.
Because I don't want to, have a plot. Let me fucking figure this out. But I watched with my boyfriend. We were both like, was it right?
No, it was
Was it?
400
Was it?
400 miles off the coast of Newfoundland.
Yeah.
So that's Canada, and that's very much
Which is
north.
very far north.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, yes. Let's take a day trip from New York City to the Titanic.
Yeah, because the UK, in terms of like where an actual placement of the globe, is closer to Canada
Yeah.
than they are like the mainland US.
Yeah, and like that would have been deeply ironic that they were not that far from their destination when they actually sank.
Like, they could see it over the horizon as they're sinking, like, oh, fuck. Can I just...
Are there icebergs there?
No!
I also want to state, by the way, like, near the end of the movie, like, I don't know if the dub has this line, but in the subs, like, I think it's like Fujiko or whatever says, isn't this the same ocean the Titanic sank in? And I just straight up say, the Atlantic! The biggest ocean!
Big fucking ocean!
Yeah, that's not very specific.
I mean, you're right, yeah.
I literally just said, you mean the fucking Atlantic?
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, no, there's only so many oceans, and this one happens to be quite fucking big. It'd be a shame if it was taking the same ocean as the Titanic. It's like, you wouldn't be the first.
No.
Like,
That
it
could be
sank
anywhere.
in the ocean that separates the two largest land masses in the world.
That's
the two
crazy.
hemispheres of the globe. Oh, you're fucking surprised.
Fujiko, that means we could be off the coast of New York or Madrid. Not Madrid. Madrid's landlocked. Lisbon.
We could be near South Africa with that sort of statement.
We could be in Brazil. Specify.
Also, they travel to Paris in the beginning for
For no reason.
Oh, I love that. They're in Tokyo, and they're like, we need to go to our
Why
lab.
were they in Tokyo?
All the way to Paris, and then they go all the way back to Hong Kong.
And they go all the way to New York coastal waters that definitely are not.
shitty fucking airplane. That they're like, how will we get there? Do we have enough fuel? Like, no, you don't.
No.
For a fact, no, you fucking don't.
It literally starts to explode as they take off, and Lupin's like, we'll be fine. We may need to, like, land at some point to drive, but, you know, we'll be fine.
Where? Paris?
I think the only reason they would go to France is that I guess technically Lupin is French.
Yeah, because of his granddad was
Yeah.
Because
French.
he just went there to Google something, I believe.
Yeah. No, he went there to zoom and enhance on the guy that was
Yeah.
staring at them, who turned out to be...
We get a very accurate, like, wireframe rendering
Yeah.
of the sinking of the Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was watching, I was like, at this point, we knew it split, right? Because that was a thing that wasn't 100% sure
Yeah.
Yeah.
at first. So I was like,
Well, this was
Okay.
only 3 years before James Cameron's film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this was 94, that was 97,
Yeah.
I think.
God. Just watching, like, them on the computer. Titanic is like, a full recreation. Wow, okay.
I love how, like, they look at the computer and it's like, just has Titanic and Bigfoot. And he's like, oh, all this data on the Titanic. And I'm like, there are many books that you could go
I'll
find.
be completely honest, when the title came out, Titanic, I was like, are they gonna watch the James Cameron movie?
It came up and I was like, the game? No, that's Titanic.
Titanic,
How convenient that it's right here.
the booziest of beat-em-ups. That's a reference.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that one, I'm so sorry.
That's fine, no worries.
We'll explain
Never did I
later.
think, could I make a JonTron reference to a Lupin movie?
Lupin can do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't think the Titanic would be here at all, so,
No.
you know.
That's getting scored off the bingo card.
God, what's next?
Oh God, who knows?
Hindenburg.
We've had World Trade Center.
The Brazilian football team? No,
Brazilian
We've had World War II.
World War II.
Hitler twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Titanic.
Boston bomber.
Oh,
Give it time.
give it some time, you know. Yeah.
Oh.
I want to bring up the sequence with Zenigata when he shows up on a boat.
Of his 3 appearances in the movie.
But yeah, he's very much scattered throughout instead
Yeah.
of kind of intertwined. He's just
Yeah.
very much because you just see this boat rocking up, and you know the crew is on their
All
level.
those
so many
guys
guys.
with guns.
There and they come up. I'm like, wow, this chinny chin guy has so many guys. I'm like, Zenigata, no, come on, you know better than this to get like. He has 4 or 5 boats.
Yep.
Stacked.
Oh,
With people
there-
with guns.
Every single part of this boat has a guy on it.
Yeah. They also have torpedoes on his boats as well. And they're like, let's just shoot at Lupin's boat.
Yeah, yeah.
For
And
like
I love right after that, he's
15
like, okay, I know that didn't finish you off, you know. I know you survived that. Because it's you.
Yeah. And so he shoots a torpedo, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a lovely reveal of a duck pedal
Duck.
boat,
Yes.
Duck.
which they are pedaling in as it goes wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah, which begs the question, is that the duck or are they?
Are they making
I like to imagine it was Lupin making those noises.
Because I was like, I don't see his mouth moving. but at some point the wah wah stops.
Yeah.
So
Like, I could see him believing they'll never figure out we're not a real duck. Even when he's got, like, open sides.
Yeah, and the sides are fully open.
Yeah,
sitting
no
on it, so
windows.
like, let's just shoot them. They're so slow.
Yeah.
Which they're pedaling.
Yeah.
And then 30 seconds later, Lupin's like, let me turn the engine off. It's like, oh, you didn't think.
Yeah, I
You
love
didn't
that
think.
Fujiko has to be
Jigen
like,
even.
we're not getting away, you know, and Lupin's like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna have to use the motor then. Like, that's not the
It
first
has a
thing he
motor.
thought.
And Jigen's just like, why did you make me fucking pedal then?
It was funny. It was for the best.
It was beautiful just seeing the duck go away faster and then a submarine coming up from the ocean. Duck boat gets lifted.
I love these movies so much.
Yeah. And as far as Fujiko goes, what do you guys think for this movie?
Relatively well. There was like one or two scenes that were a bit,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say she's not necessarily like utilized well, but more just because she's there more than anything
Yeah.
else.
Mm-hmm.
I like her outfits in this one a lot.
Yeah.
I like casual Fujiko that we get.
Yeah,
that was
that's
nice.
nice.
It gives her a more softer
Yeah.
edge in this one, I think. Could have done without all of the scenes between her and Chen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did she? Okay.
Let's not talk.
Yeah.
We're not
Let's
gonna
not.
talk about that.
Let's not.
No.
Yeah.
Also, Lupin pushes her out of the airplane to then grab her boobs as he catches
Oh
her.
yeah.
I mean, what else do you expect from Lupin?
Still.
He could have done that in the airplane, you know. He didn't need to
If you're
kick her
gonna
out of
grow-
an airplane.
Lupin.
If you're gonna
He's
grow,
just
at least do it
dramatic.
out of danger.
He's dramatic.
Yeah, I was like, why kick her out of the plane?
Can I also want to talk about, because I noticed this as well, that sequence when like Chin's about to shoot him and like Jigen, and like it's the whole cigarette sort of
Ah,
thing, so, like,
yeah,
with
yeah.
the smoke bomb and stuff. Why doesn't he grab the dragon?
Because he doesn't care about the dragon.
But still, he knows that they've got a bad plan for it, like a whole diabolical plan at that point. Why doesn't he just take it?
Because Lupin's not a good guy.
Still, it's stupid.
Yeah.
He
I get
steals
what
it
you mean,
anyway
yeah.
later on.
Yeah. But
No, I want an
Lupin.
explanation.
No.
It's stupid.
All you get is duck boat.
Lupin's not like a hero.
I know he's
so-
not a hero, but still, just like from a strategic standpoint, it's dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
And
it's
the rest of
morally
the
right.
movie's smart.
No, but it's just that specific part was like, why?
They
Like
legit at some
blatantly
point,
why?
they pushed a button and they were like, oh, what a convenience. We have our alligator pit right here.
Yeah. You see, that's funny. That's
Begs the
stupid and
question,
funny.
are there alligator pits under every bit of floor?
Yeah.
Just in case? It's like, well, you know.
I like to believe it's specifically that section.
Just
Oh,
that
yeah.
section,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like, make sure you leave them there. I was like, no,
Yeah.
no. Only if chance allows it will I kill them. So they kill dogs. They straight up bomb dogs.
Bombed up.
Bomb dogs.
Yeah, there's the Dobermans outside of the
yeah, yeah.
mansion.
Oh,
They fully.
yeah.
Yup.
Oh well.
Okay.
Yeah, oh well, yeah.
Fuck
And
'em.
there's a lot of like gory things that they just kind of cut out ish. Because in the opening scene when Goemon is watching the play and the ninjas take over, he slices one in half.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this will be the difference between movie and what was on TV. So
Because
we're
there were a
used to
few
seeing.
cuts where I was like, oh, that's
So it
you.
wouldn't be cut so much as just not showing stuff.
Yeah,
just like an
exactly.
edit.
Yeah, it's a classic TV anime thing of action and you kind of miss out the middle part. What's it called? Action and then conclusion, so you don't see the middle sequence. It's a way of directing action that you don't have to show the gory parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was a bit noticeable in that first scene. I was like, you know, they either pan away very quickly to something or like it feels like
Yeah.
it was cut short or something. But again, I watched, I was like, I understand why.
Yeah.
Fits the scene better.
Yeah.
So yeah, over. Good.
I gotta bring up Chin Chin Chu. So here's a thing.
Well, you know you're ready for this.
I was wondering if it was an offensive thing.
Well,
Uh,
how it sounds generally, I guess it does sound a little
Yeah.
questionable.
Which is why I was like, how are we going to talk about him in this? Are we just going to call him Chin?
Yeah, but let's talk about if you hear his name said out loud. I don't know how it's spelled in kanji, but if it's said out loud, Chin Chin is in Japanese
Slang for
slang for dick, and not calling someone a dick.
Like wiener.
Anatomical
yeah.
penis. And chu is the onomatopoeic sound of kissing in Japanese.
Huh.
His name is Dick Kiss.
Dick kiss.
I mean, if that was a nickname Lupin gave him, I'd be like, eh.
But it's not.
It's
That's
not.
his
It's not.
actual
Real
name.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
Lupin calls him Chin Chin Chan,
Chinny Chin Chin.
Chinny Chin Chin.
which, I don't like.
No.
Mm,
It just feels a bit.
yeah.
Like, he can do better than that.
Yeah.
Like,
Up your standards, Lupin.
yeah, come on. Even Fuji Cakes, come on. That's,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Again, he
about
just
it.
calls her Fujiko-chan, which is why I've never liked the Fujiko Cakes
No.
translation.
Yeah.
Like, I understand what they were trying to do, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I just that was a thing that I had to deal with the whole movie.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's called Dick Kiss.
Yeah. Cool.
Do we have anything else we want to say? We've only been talking about this for like 20 minutes.
We talked about a lot about Belle.
Yeah.
did.
I don't. It's very much, Lupin. Turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Question it. He goes in. He's in the deep sea. His diving suit breaks, and he just gets slightly squished. Funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna pretend this is realism here, because come on.
I do love that whole sequence.
I
Yeah.
think that I enjoy that this one feels like it's not trying to be art, which you could say Dead or Alive and Nostradamus and Mamo were trying to be. Because
Yeah.
Like
movies-
Nostradamus, I think, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
They try to
recent ones
be.
we saw.
They try to be more cinematic. They try to be, I guess more intricate with animation and stuff like that. Whereas this is just,
Is Lupin.
let's just have fun with
Yeah.
Lupin.
Yeah.
And that, I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, do we just score it and end the episode?
Yeah.
It's a long episode,
It is,
so
yeah.
it's a bit weirdly divided.
Yeah.
But, Lupin, always enjoyable, even when kind of shit,
Yeah.
You're still in for a ride.
So
Yeah.
scores for
7.5. I'm doing a lot of 0.5s this episode.
yeah.
I think for me also 7.5.
I'll go with 7. I think there's parts where it kind of dragged, but
Yeah,
other than
fair.
that,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah,
Overall
thank you.
positive.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Anime Lane. It's still not our longest episode.
One day.
One day.
Maybe.
Our Lupin ones tend to run a little longer for some reason.
We're just.
like
Because
Lupin.
Nostradamus
really
was
like
like
him.
an hour and 20 or something like that.
He's our guy.
He's our guy. Yeah, so thank you for listening to this. Yeah, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.